Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you guys. Thanks for coming along, everybody. It's nice to see everyone saying hello on the chat. Good job, guys. Right, so I'm going to crack straight on today, guys. There we go. I'm going to crack straight on today, guys. So organic part 2. So we're doing nomenclature continues. So what I just to explain the previous lesson and what I'm doing, I'm not giving you all the rules in one go. That's madness. I'm building these rules up nice and slowly, adding to it each time as we get to the next level of difficulty. So far we have covered meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, etrop, nom, dec. Yeah, we know all up to 10 at this point. In terms of what we're doing, it's called the stem of the name. It's called the stem. The longest chain is the stem. Okay, so let's crack on. I'm going to share my screen and move on to my, there we go, switch my camera to my clip cam so everyone can stare at my head. Hello. Right, let's crack on today, guys. So, learning objectives, title, right, switching over to, there we go, we're up. Right. So GCSE Organic Lesson 2, Nomenclature Part 2. So learning objectives today, folks. I'm just going to check that this is all morning. There we go. It's working fine. I'm actually going to pop out the chat at that stage, and I can then close my YouTube window, save a bit of bandwidth. There we go. Okay. So learning objectives today, folks. Enes, ynes, and ynes. Now, just to tell you that this one here is technically AS. Yeah, you do not need to know ynes at GCSE, but it's nice for me to do it. And just to warn you, just to explain it, so students often say to me, they often get frustrated every now and again with me because they're like, oh, well, hang on a minute, I don't want to know about the A-level stuff. I'm not going to do A-level chemistry, so why are you teaching it to me? And the reason why I've done it is because it came up on a paper. And every time, one of the things that I strive to do as a teacher is to develop my lessons and to always make sure that I'm incorporating new things that I've seen have been asked and not to forget them. And so, I'm adding this in because it came up on a GCSE paper. You weren't asked to name it. You were asked to draw it. And it was really, really mean that, because if you'd never come across it, then you would have struggled. And so I add it in because it's been on a paper and it was one of the A-star questions or level 9s for that year. So it's worthwhile me adding it. Next, be able to name and draw and understand numbers. That's important for today. So far in the naming rules, so just to pick up, naming, I shouldn't do naming. It should be nomenclature rules. Nomenclature rules. So far, looks like I put RALs. Rules. So far, we have picked up rule number 1, which is the stem name. Yeah, stem. So the stem name is the longest chain. And we've talked about bends. Yeah, longest chain. And I'll even add in there MEPB. Meth, eth, prop, but. Mary eats peanut butter. Meth, eth, prop, but. Yes, I know. It's just the way I work, guys. It's repetitive. It's useful. In fact, I should get every single person in this class right now. I want everybody on the chat to type in meth, eth, prop, but, please. Off you go. Type it in on the chat. I'm going to type it too. If I'm asking you to do something, then I'm doing it too. Everybody on the chat. Meth, eth, prop, but. Do it again. Meth, eth, prop, but. Do it again. Meth, eth, prop, but. Say it as you type it. Everybody needs to do it. Do it again. Meth, eth, prop, but. Say it again for me. Do it again and say it when you're typing it. Meth, eth, prop, but. Yeah, guys, there's value in this, I promise. Yeah, the more rigid that I get this. I love the fact that Jack went even a little bit further. Love it. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Ian, I'm not seeing your name anywhere. Not seeing Vincent, not seeing loads of people. That's the problem with this, you see. How many people, do you know what? I never do this. How many people are watching my channel right now? I've got 10. Well, that's not my whole class, is it? I'd love it to be able to give me the actual number of people who, or the people who weren't there, who logged in, got a register, and then logged off. It's very frustrating, that, as a teacher. That's the problem with online teaching. It is an issue. Yeah, but thank you everybody for doing it. Yeah, really appreciate that. I promise you it has value. We'll do that every lesson. Nice activity, that. Meath, eth, pro, bute, meath, eth, pro, bute. It helps it stick. I promise you it does. Promise. Right. So we picked up our STEM name. Okay. So now we need to pick up our enes, ines, and ynes. Okay, so 3 new families for you today, guys. So can we put homologous series? Homologous series. Oh, what were those properties again? It's always nice to run the properties. They have the same general formula. They have the same functional group. They have similar chemical properties, and their physical properties increase in a trend with chain length. Love that. So homologous series for today. The first one we're picking up, number 1, is the alkane family. And notice that I am underlining in orange ane. Yeah? And the whole point of this family is that the name is in the family name. So, for example, now here's what I'd like you to do, folks. Let's now do question number 1. Draw. Oh, I'm just going to do, let's do a naming one first. Name this guy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the name is built from the diagram. So name on the chat, please. Name him, please. Meath, eth, probe, bute. Meath, eth, probe, bute. Mary eats peanut butter. Yeah? So can everyone now name me that on the chat, please? Let's see if people know it. We're doing the alkane family. There you go. Thank you, Massaro. First on. Good job. Thank you. Well done. So you need more now, Callista. Add in the extra. Add in the ending. Yeah. Zyna, add in the ending, because I've given you a full now. It is a probe, but now we get... So let's now color coordinate this. You're absolutely right. I don't like orange because I've already used orange for the ane. So green. Nope, not thick enough. Too thick. There we go. So we have a probe. But now, notice what I'm doing. They are all single bonds. Yeah, carbon-carbon single bonds. So this now becomes propane. So it's not a difficult activity, is it? You look at the picture. No, step number 1, count the longest chain. Then look for anybody who's if there's anybody who isn't a single bond, and then you just add in the ane if it doesn't. If it's all single bonds between the carbons, then it's going to be an ane. It's an alkane. So, question number 2. Let's have a go at naming this one. Can everyone now name me this guy? Name me this one. On the chat, please. Taking my sweet time to draw my hydrogens. I'm being good because I'm giving a lesson online, really. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't bother with all ages. Name that one, please, on the chat. Get rid of that guy. There you go. Thank you very much, Massaro, Julius, Owen. Thank you very much. I'm looking for Callista to give me the full name here instead of doing it in pieces. And also Lauren to give me the full name and Zyna to give me the full name. Thank you very much. Good job. Well done. Step number 1, find your longest chain. This is a butte. see what I did there? It's a butte. It's beautiful. Well, I'll stop. So this is a butte. Yeah. And I now go, so I should do it in green because I've drawn the line in green. It's a butte. And now I go single, single, single. It's an ane. That's butane. Nice and easy. Thank you, Jack. Let's go for the next one. Number 3. How about this guy? Number 3. Try that one on for size. What about that one? Name that, please, for me, folks. Name it on the chat, please. On the chat. Heptane, 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 I love it. It's looking good. No, Jack, gotta be careful. Don't rush it. Gotta count. Helped. I don't know what else is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is based on hept. Next, single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond, single bond. This is an ane. That is heptane. Nice and easy. Everyone thinking this is a walk in the park. What's wrong with this? This is easy. Let's now move on to our second family. So underline it. Homologous series number 2, the alkene family. Notice I underlined the alkene. Does everyone see what I've done? I've underlined it with 2 lines because it's a double. Oh, stop. So let's have a look at it. Question number 1. Everyone name me this, please. Name me this guy. On the chat, please. On the chat. Meath, eth, prop, bute. Meath, eth, prop, bute. Mary eats peanut butter. So on the chat, please. Well done, Owen. Straight in there on first. Well done, ethene, 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 ethene. Well done. Good job, everybody. So it's an eth. Let's color code this. 2 carbons. It's an eth. But now it contains a double bond. So it's no longer an alkane, but instead an alkene. So this is now ethene. Let's have a look at the next one. By the way, here's a question for you. Can you get methene? It's a good question. Question number 2. Question number 2. Number 2. Here we go. Name it, please. Name it, please. Sorry, what? I've lost my mind. I'm sorry. Sorry. Name it, please. Pretty please. Love seeing all my ethenes everywhere. It's good. I've got the 10 people who are contributing really well, and then the rest of my kids have just gone. Well done, Owen is the correct answer. Well done. Good job, good job. I'm seeing loads of propenes. Yay! So this is prop. There are 3 carbons in a row. It is a prop. But it also contains a carbon-carbon double bond, which means it is propene. Now, can I please stress here, everybody? So this now here, yeah, we've got the stem name, and this is, it's not actually, it's kind of called a suffix. But the thing is, it's not really a suffix. It's just what tacks onto the stem. And this is always part of the naming process. Is it an ane or an ene? Can I just point out, but what about the single bond? Zina, great question. It doesn't matter. The reason being, Zina, is that this part of the structure, that there, is the functional group. It's the bit that gives it its special properties. Functional group gives chemical properties. The single bonds don't do anything. They're very strong bonds. The only thing we ever do with alkanes is burn them. Yeah, gives chemical properties. Yeah, that's what makes it important. We don't care about the single bond. If it contains a double bond, it's an ene. Yeah? Okay. Question number 3. Right, now guys, this is about to get, so let's add this to our rules, nomenclature rules. Number 2, ene, or ein. Right, let's do an ein. Okay, question number 3. This is technically another family, by the way. I'm adding in a family here. So we only consider the larger bond. The larger. What would we do if there is a double bond and a triple bond? Considered the triple bond. Let's not talk about that, Zina. Let's just stick with this for the minute. The next one, we've seen alkanes, alkenes. Now we have alkynes. Notice I've underlined it 3 times. Yeah. So guys, can everyone have a go at this, please? Notice there is another thing here, a nota bene that's now appearing. Name that. A nota bene. Carbon. Nota bene in red. Nota bene. Carbon always, notice the capitalization, makes 4 bonds. Always makes 4 bonds. We're picking up what are called bond rules now, folks. Carbon always makes 4 bonds. Hydrogen always makes, let's go for another bullet point. Hydrogen, H, makes 1 bond only. 1 bond only. And oxygen makes 2. Makes 2 bonds. We're picking up bond rules now for pictures. Okay, let's go back to here. Ethine, well done Zina, well done Jack, well done Navina. Isn't organics fun? Because you realize it's a set of rules, and once you start picking up the rules, it kind of makes it easy. This is eth, let's name it. It has 2 carbons, so it must start eth. Meth, eth, prop, bute. Meth, eth, prop, bute. Sorry, I'm being irritating to everyone. The next one is that I have a triple bond, which means this is now ethine. Let's go for the next one. I'm literally ignoring Zina's question. What about that one? Isn't that an interesting picture? Carbon in the middle has no H's at all because it's already got its 4 bonds. Yeah, let's just show you that. This carbon here has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. This carbon here has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. This carbon here has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. You add on the H's until you hit to 4. Well done, Zina. That is correct. This is, let's count the carbons. 1, 2, 3. This is a prop, and it contains a carbon-carbon triple bond, which means it is propyne. Isn't that fun? Yeah? Okay, so we've now seen enes, enes, and ynes. Right, let's now add in. So far we can name and draw. And now I'm introduced, I've done my first naming objective. I've talked about how you draw them, including the bond rules, which are dead important. Can't stress how important those are. Yeah, so I'm going to give you another one now. This time, okay, question number, let's just do another one. I would like all of you now to be careful here. Question number 1 for alkynes. Can it contain 2 double bonds and still be called ene? Yes, Masaru, that's a great question. You and Zina have asked both really, really wonderful questions. So I'm going, now the problem is you don't need to know this because it's part of A-level. At GCSE, you only consider 1 double bond ever. You only ever do that. And I will add that into the rules as we go along, Masaru, but I'm not going to answer it now. You can. It becomes a diene, is what it becomes. Damn it, I've answered it. I said I wasn't going to do it anyway. So, okay, guys. Now, this time, I want to now add in my 3rd learning objective, numbers. So, let me explain. So, we can now do, this is a 3rd rule. Can you put a little subheading, please, of numbers. So let's pick it up. So I'm now going to draw this guy. Right. Count my bonds. 3, 4, 3, 4. There we go. So I'd like you all on the chat to name it, please. Can you all name it on the chat? Right. Right, so I'm introducing you now, guys, to numbers. It's interesting that nobody, well, Zina's right, well done, Zina. She's given me a good name, a GCSE, it is allowed. Well done to everyone. Butene, I like it. Got 3 people who've given me a solid name. The problem is, though, that I now need to introduce you to isomers. So we can put down a definition here, guys. Isomers, butene versus butene. Exactly, Jack. There's a problem, isn't there? Isomers, molecules with the same molecular formula, but different structural formulae. Right, let me explain. Because both of these 2 chemicals that I've drawn are both considered butenes. Yeah. However, they're not the same. They both have the same molecular formula, C4H8. C4H8. However, it's like isotopes, something in common. Yes, well done, Zina. The word iso means same. The word mer means parts. Mermaid, part woman. Merman, part man. Iso means same. Mer means parts. Same parts. Isotopes, same identity. Topes, same identity. So a lithium atom, lithium isotopes are all lithium. They're the same person, but they have different numbers of neutrons. So these are not the same people, and we need to name them as needed. So this one is but-1-ene. Right, let me explain the 1. It's called but-1-ene because when I count the carbons, the double bond, the double bond is between carbons 1 and 2. And I will always take, and this is a rule, you always take the lowest number. This is a rule in naming. Whenever a number is needed, you always take the lowest number. Number 3, whenever a number is needed, always take the lowest. Okay, so this is but-1-ene. Would anyone now on the chat like to name this guy, please? Come on, folks. Come on. Meth, eth, prop, but, meth, eth, prop, but, meth, eth, prop, but, meth, eth, prop, but, meth, eth, prop, but. Oh, so the other one is but2ene. Correct, Owen. Well done. Well done, Julius. Well done, Lauren. Spot on. Well done, Masaru. Good job. So this one is but2ene. They're different. So we need to name them as such. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's definitely a but. Yeah, but we have a double bond, which means it's an ene. And that double bond is between 2 and 3. Hence the 2. So my question to you, I don't get it. You're running a 3-stage process here, Zina. Can you explain to me why you don't understand? Okay, I've got another question for you to the whole class. But3ene, question mark. Does it exist? Oh, I get it now. Excellent. Did my little walkthrough help? The walkthrough is really important. Going through each one, building the name in a standardized process. Yeah, you're doing step 1, count my chain, spit out the part of the name. Not possible, because it would always be on the first carbon. No, because it's but2ene. Jack, no, other one, but reversed. Zina says yes, Lauren says yes. Well done, Smith. I don't know who Ugly Smith is, but thank you for contributing. You're absolutely right. It doesn't exist. So the reason why, let's draw but3ene. Let's draw it. Let's switch the process. I've got a but. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have now got an ene, and the ene is on carbon number 3. I will number them. I put the double bond here. I now join everyone else together with single. Now I add on the hydrogens as needed. But the problem is, this isn't but3ene, is it? It is actually but1ene. Because I would count in that direction. Because my rule states, if a number is needed, always take the lowest. And you would count from the other direction because it's simply been turned over. The molecule has simply been flipped over. I can actually do this, I believe. Maybe. Maybe I can't. Can I do this? Translate? No. Oh, I really hoped I was going to be able to do that. Insert? I don't think I can. How frustrating. It won't let me. Oh, that's sad. Tricky. So always but1ene. Yes, correct. Well done, Smith. I don't like calling you Ugly Smith. It seems awfully mean. Because that's just a mirror image. It's just been flipped over. I wish I could actually just spin it. Yeah, to show you. But these two here are the same. So there is no such thing as but3ene. It would just be but1ene. So the answer is no. Well done to those people who figured that out. Okay, so now, guys, I'm going to ask you to impress me. So, in your books, please, question number 1. Draw, let's do pt2ene. Off you go, folks. Draw me pt2ene. Even Smith. I don't know why I'm called Ugly Smith. My name's not even Smith. Well, you did choose it, right? Draw pt2ene for me, everybody. Okay, you can pause the video if you haven't finished yet, and then check your answer with me. So, stage number 1, pent. So I need 5 carbons in a row. 5 carbons in a row. Now what I do is I now need to make it an ene, and it needs to be on position number 2. So 1, 2, I'm just going to count from the left because I can. It needs to be on number 2, which means the double bond must go between 2 and 3. Because if I go between 1 and 2, well done, Jack. Now add in, surrounded by H's, I like it. But be careful with the H's. The reason being is because you must count them, guys. Do you know what the most common mistake is that I see in organic chemistry drawing? Is they will do this, and that isn't okay. The reason being is the 2 carbons with the double bond now have too many bonds. Yeah, you've got to be super careful. So you actually need to get rid of 2 of them. Yeah, so be careful when you're practicing your H's. You must count them as you go. Watch out. Super, super common at GCSE for students to add in hydrogens there. Please, please. Less H's on the double bond because can only make 4 bonds. Yes, absolutely spot on. Smith, what's your actual name? Cool, let's go for the next one. Question number 2. Okay, let's go for bute, draw bute 2-ine. Off you go. Bute 2-ine. So I've introduced you to the first time of isomers. Isn't that nice? Nice that. Right, let's have a look. So, number 1, it's a bute. 4 carbons in a row. Next, it's an ine. Triple bond on number 2 and 3. Right, everybody else is 1s. Count on your hydrogens. That one needs it. This one needs nothing. This one needs nothing. And this one needs 3. Carefully drawing them, folks. Counting your hydrogens. And there is bute 2-ine. I like it. You realize that this is a staged process. You finding your main stem. Find your stem. Draw your stem. Then find your ending. Yeah? And add in the people that your endings tells you. You have to know them. If you don't know that ine is 3, then it's very hard to draw it. Yeah? So this is why I must teach them to you. Guys, so we have done anes, enes, and ines today, which is amazing. And we've also covered isomers. So you can move this around. There are alternative structures. It's nice that. And we have now covered numbers. So that brings me to the end of my lesson today, folks. I hope you have found it useful. Let's bring you back up. Let's get rid of my shared screen. Let's switch back to my normal camera. You do literally stare at my head. That's not really very good, is it? Front. There we go. We're back. Guys, I hope it all made sense. I'm going to give you a homework sheet. I'm going to post the homework sheet on the Google Classroom in a moment. And it's just a whole series of naming enes, anes, and ines. I will see you all next lesson. See you later, everybody.